You know what Wednesdays mean. We're going running, and we have our running guru, expert, all the above, Rick Sypert, Boardman girls head coach and assistant AD. Sype, how we do? Another week of track and field. Here we go.
Hey, we got some good weather this week, so can't complain about anything for
That's
now until it starts raining in about 3 hours. So
right. Hey, we're gonna hold off that rain until 7. We have a lot of
yes,
softball and baseball to get
let's
into.
get through all the diamond and all the events
Yeah.
tonight, and we'll be good to go. Let it rain all.
Well, we have a really good show today, Sype. We're bringing on someone from Ashtabula County in the 440 and someone that has already broken several school records young in the career. A sophomore from the Conneaut Spartans on the girls' side, Macey Mcbride. Macey, thanks for coming on, joining us today.
Thank
We
you
are
for
so happy to
having
have you
me.
aboard. Macy, we said when we brought you on, you've already broken a couple of school records. I mean, to make an immediate impact the way you have in the last season and a half, what's it been like for you, this roller coaster of being able to have so much success early on in the career?
It's honestly been like kind of shocking. I wasn't really expecting to like get as far as I did. Like, I mean, I went to like indoor seasons. I've been practicing since like the winter, and it's definitely paid off like a lot. And I'm just happy to have gotten where I have just like my second year of doing high school track.
And it's pretty impressive to start to hit the ground running like you have here. Um, let's talk about things up in Conneaut out there. I know you guys are in a unique part of the state. So as you talked about indoor there, I'm sure you guys get pummeled with some snow during the winter months. So as a 200, 400 runner, what's those training conditions like? Are you training inside? You going outside at all to get some volume in? Let's talk about that a little bit.
So when we had our indoor season, we were running up at the Edinburgh like indoor like facility, and we were supposed to do some like actual meets, but we never ended up doing that. But we would do just like circuit training, just like distance workouts and some like warm up exercises and stuff as a team, and then we would go off and do our own like conditioning and stuff, which is what I did. I did a lot of distance training in the beginning, and then we also had morning liftings at our school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I attended all winter pretty much.
It's really easy to have a solid freshman season, and then we see a lot of athletes after that get a little bit content, maybe plateau the rest of their career or whatever. But you keep trajectorying up. What kept you motivated to keep working after a very successful first season this year as a sophomore?
I just felt like I felt like I was doing like well, and I knew that I could do more. And I know that a lot of people expected me to do more, so I just kept pushing myself till I got where I wanted to be, and I still want to do more than where I am. And a lot of it has been my family and my friends and my coaches definitely have a big impact on me and everything. And a big one is my brother. He's been, college, high school. So he's I'm in his shadow a little bit, but all he's done, he's always pushed me to keep going, and I've really improved from him.
Well, when you're setting school records as a sophomore, I think you can get out of the shadows a little bit. Again, 1 minute flat, 26 high. I mean, those are two really, really good marks for any grade. But I mean, you're killing it right now as a sophomore. So as the season's progressing here, a lot of places this is conference week, and then we're getting into districts and then regionals coming up the next few weeks here. Have you peeked ahead a little bit, or are you just taking this one day at a time?
I've been trying to go like one day at a time, taking, rest days where I can and workout days when I should. We had our CVC prelims yesterday, and then we've got our finals tomorrow. I have a practice today later, you know. So
Speaking about practice and training, we've brought in a lot of track athletes over the last 2 seasons, and we always like to ask them what's their favorite conditioning training and then their least favorite conditioning training drill to do.
that's actually a really hard one because it kind of just depends on what mood I'm in that day. I mean, I'm fine with doing whatever because I know like it eventually is gonna get me where I need to be and I need to do them. I personally like I don't think ladders are that bad. I kind of like doing ladders. I like longer runs. towards the beginning of the season, that's more what we were doing, and especially as a team, we would do that. And I focused on being with like the mid distance group a lot. Um, but towards the end of the season, I'm starting to work more into like the sprinting workouts and like things to help me with my starts and everything to get the extra like power and all. But that's where I've been right now.
Well, you're dropping the mid distance line out there. You have any 800s in your future here?
Possibly. I know that one of the coaches is my dad. He's been wanting me to try to do that. I've been in the 4x8 this season, and so our team's been doing very well.
We have to talk more about dad being a coach. What's that dynamic like, having to flip between dad mode and coach mode? How does he do it?
Well, my dad as a dad is pretty much a coach to me a lot of the time. When he's a coach, he's my coach. He's always, my dad. He cares, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. But in the most part, he just, wants the best for me. He knows what I can do, and I try to, make him proud as I can with my races. He's definitely hard on me, but it helps.
Oh, well, that's his job. He's supposed to be hard on you as the athlete there, and of course as his daughter. Okay, so you're coming up on the postseason here. How does your mindset kind of change as you're flipping the switch from the regular season into the postseason?
I tend to become a lot more focused on my running, and I try to like calm myself and just like stay in like a running mode. Like I try to not get too distracted or like put a lot of pressure on myself. I feel that with like the more I think about it, the worse it is. Like last year, I got into regional prelims, and I was too worried about it, and it messed me up a lot. So I think that just to calm down and just relax is my biggest like turn.
You're not the only successful runner at Conneaut. So let's talk about this program and the teammates that you have and the people you get to work with. What's it like to be a part of such a good group, and tell us a little bit more about this Conneaut program and what makes it so successful.
I think our track team as a whole, we have a very large track team. And a lot of the people, everyone on our team is so nice, and they're all supportive, and they're always there cheering everyone on at the end. And it really helps motivate everybody, and me especially, knowing that like they're there and they're helping me, and they're on my team, and they know what I can do, and they help me get there. Like it's a lot of support, and a lot of my teammates, like I have lots, especially like on my relays and stuff, there are a lot of like really great runners on my team, and they all help push everyone to just get as far as we can.
Yeah, it truly is tough to beat a good 4x4 race or a good 4x8 race to start off a meet there. But I totally feel you on that. Like when people come together at the end of the meets there to cheer each other on, especially in a race that's as grueling as that 4x4, it really can uplift the entire team when you get those things going. So with your mindset from last year, you said you were a little bit nervous for regionals. Have you decided on any like goals for what you're going to be putting out there this year? Like how are you going to change your thought process to get to the regional then?
I've just been, taking it day by day, and my plans are just to like stay where I am and get like progressively get more and more. I definitely need to start like pushing myself more in my races for like these upcoming like postseason meets and everything. Last year, I just don't know what happened last year. Like after regionals, I was just like it just didn't like end very well. But this year, I hope to at least my goal is to make it to state prelims. I think that's my biggest goal, and I'm gonna do what I can to get there.
Track is a sport where you have to push yourself to almost the limits of what your body can handle with the training that you do and obviously the running that you do. It takes a lot, not just physically, but mentally too. Talk about the mental aspect of this sport and how you kind of keep yourself driven and motivated through a lot of that really draining process?
Well, track is definitely a very mental sport. You just like for me, I just gotta keep myself like I said in like a calm mind, like a state where like I can just be calm and breathe and run. I tend to like, just I reassure myself that I know what I can do and I know, that what I do is still gonna be good. Like, and even if it's not, everyone has their bad days. I mean, not everything's gonna be a perfect race. And I just try to like tell myself that I'm gonna do as much as I can. And as long as I do what I know I could do, then that's the win for me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of misconceptions of the sport is people think you're going to PR every single time you touch the track because you've been
Yes.
working hard. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Weather has a lot to do with it. How you slept the day before. Was there a big algebra test that day? There's so many other variables that come into the sport, and a lot of people don't recognize that stuff. So it's a very mature mindset. So as like a school record holder now, do you feel like all eyes are on you a little bit as a leader? Like, how has your leadership role stepped up in the program now that you're setting all these amazing marks?
Honestly, I don't feel too different. I feel like I've always kind of been like a pretty good runner, and I've just been like, my dad being the coach, I've just kind of always been there. I mean, and it's a lot. Do people do always, they're like every day before a meet, they're like, "Oh, are you gonna get that record?" I'm just like, "Oh, just let it happen." But I think, I mean, having the record definitely makes people think that you're gonna always do something like that and you're just gonna keep breaking it every time and every time. And it really makes people like put you on a spotlight and they look up to you because they see what you're doing and they think like, "Oh wow, like that's something." And they like I've had so many people just this past year. I've made so many friends just by, being somebody who's like seen in like a big like spotlight.
Do you record chase? I mean, are you out there like, do you know all the records? Do you know what times you have to have? Or are you someone that like, hey, when it happens, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just broke that record. Wasn't even aiming for that.
So I actually have been a pretty big record chaser, but it's really only been for my 400. That's the race my brother ran, which is why I kind of chose to do it. I chased that record all middle school and all last year, and this year it kind of just like slowly got there, and it just happened. Like I wasn't expecting it, and I think that when I'm not chasing it is when I get closer to it. Like if I just run my race and let it happen is when it's best. But I have definitely been a record chaser. Now with my 200, that just kind of happened. I mean, my coach, he put me in it one day just to get a time on me, and I was not expecting it at all.
Oh my gosh. Just go try this 200 real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go break the record. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty impressive. I mean, with the numbers you're putting out there, it makes sense as well. I mean, like I asked about the 800 because based on running a 60 flat, you should be able to drop a pretty solid time that open 800 as well. So I always have interest in those things. I really love the 4 and the 8, and I know how grueling both of those races are. It's easily two of the three worst high school races there are. So anytime someone willingly runs it and willingly runs it very well, like you are, it's pretty impressive. It's always something that catches my eye as a coach. So with the preparation for postseason, I know I love asking people about what their plans are for their cheat meals when their seasons are finished up there. Are you like making any of those sacrifices as you're getting through here? And is there anything you're really looking forward to chowing down on once the season comes to an end?
Not really, to be honest. I tend to like kind of stay in like a healthy, type of like eating habits and stuff. My mom is very big on like a healthy like diet and stuff. She's been going through like health coaching. Like I know she did that and she's done a bunch of different like groups and stuff. And she's always making like really healthy dinners and I prefer them a lot and because of her like opinions on everything, it kind of gets to me and I choose to just stay on like a better course rather than bad anyways.
So you have like no guilty pleasure foods that you like, no desserts that you like.
Not really, no. I mean, I kind of
Really?
just like eat whatever.
Can't like any candy, like something.
It's really made me like not like candy. Like I love sour candy, but like I like only eat it like if it's like it doesn't have to like just be there. I kind of have to
Right.
like really want it. And
Mm.
I mean, like throughout the season, like I'll eat candy, obviously, but
Right.
I had some yesterday after my meet.
There you
But like,
go. Like,
but I do like I usually choose not to. Like
right. What about ice cream? Nothing?
I do like ice cream, but
There you
like
go. We found it.
it's just so I don't know, it's like weird. It's like I have to like really, really want it, and I usually
Like,
don't.
it's all
Like I
good.
just stay away from it.
All healthy, and
All healthy
that's why
stuff
she's
is
a record breaker, you know?
You know, I applaud that because time and time again, Borman has a Starbucks that opened real close to it. Every single day, I just see kids walking by in the morning, and I'm like, that's 1,200 calories.
We're getting a
1,800
Starbucks
calories.
in our
Uh-oh.
Ashtabula.
Like
Macy's gonna be tested.
those
I
drinks that
know.
are pseudo coffees with a billion calories, and I just laugh every morning because I'm like, that's what you're eating at 7 a.m. Come on, man. I love it.
Macy, we've talked about your mom and dad. I want to talk about some more people in your life that you kind of look to as role models or that, you know, have supported you a lot throughout your career. Who are those people that kind of taught you how to be a leader and taught you how to be a role model?
A lot of my coaches definitely like I feel like, you know, just throughout the years I've been like very close with like my teachers and everything and they expect a lot from me, I think, and they know that I can be a good leader and it just, you know, makes me want to be a very good leader. And a lot of my like friends and my peers and everyone on my team, I love my team so much. Everyone is so nice and I was not expecting to like make so many like new friends just this season. And it's been so easy to talk to everybody and it makes me want to like be somebody they can look up to and be a good person for them to, you know, be there for them and like motivate them throughout their season as well.
It's one of those great things about sports. Like it brings people together. And honestly, at the end of the day, you can kind of throw the times and the records out. I mean, if you're having a good experience and you're putting in all the effort, all the other stuff's usually going to come your way as well. So that's impressive. So things at Conneaut, what's your favorite subject and how come it's your favorite subject?
So I don't know if art counts as the favorite subject
Oh,
for
yeah.
this, but my favorite subject is art. This year I had about like two art classes. I had one each semester, but um next year I plan on taking like as many as I can because I'll have a pretty open schedule. But I just love my art classes. I'm honestly I'm a pretty decent artist, and so is my brother. He's been a really good artist. But I just like I love drawing. I love painting. I love like anything that has to do with art. I just like looking at everyone's art. It's something that's very like open to me, and I feel like you can just kind of do whatever you want with it. It's very creative, and it like kind of can express you, and it's very calming for me when I do it, and I love making the projects that she has. Yeah.
Yeah,
Macy, my last question for you, since we're so close to summer vacation, I'm sure you can feel it. What's your favorite summer kind of activity or routine? What's your favorite thing about being off for 3 months?
I just I just like that it's warm. Like I on most of the time in the summers I play soccer, so I have soccer practices and like early like conditionings like pretty much right after track season. So I've got that like almost every week, and then I also am on our drill team. So I have band camp at the end of July. So I don't really get a whole lot of like free time, and when I do, I go outside. I hang out with my friends. I really look forward to just being able to spend time with my friends a lot. Like I feel that's very important like for me to be able to be with my friends and
I
my
just love that you
family.
do a little bit of everything. You're running track, soccer, drill team, you know, whatever it takes. A little bit of well-rounded. Way to be well-rounded. Journalism right there.
Thank you.
Macy, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and talking to us about your year and your career so far. We know you have a lot left to do at Conneaut. We can't wait to watch it all, and we wish you the best of luck going forward. We can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for
thanks,
having
Macy. Good
me.
luck the rest of the way.
Oh, thank you.
from Conneaut. We love having them. The Spartans. I know you like the Spartans, Sype. It's Macey Mcbride. Thank you so much for your time again. Sype, that was a really good interview.
Yeah, it's always impressive to hear how mature a lot of the kids are that we interview on here. I mean, they take care of their bodies. They're dedicated to what they do. Um, Again, another kid that's being coached the right way. She talks about her teammates and how important and pivotal they are to like her successes as well. So again, we got another good one out there to talk to today.
She taught you a good lesson out there to all those athletes that are chasing milestones. It happens when you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean,
records and milestones, they're more likely to get broken when you're not in your head about it. And she said it, like, most of my records got broken when I wasn't chasing the record. That's just one of the things.
Yeah, if you're squeezing, it's usually nothing good comes from that when you're squeezing as an athlete. Loose and warm, that's all you got to be, and good things will happen.
I like kind of a mix of the two. Like, you want to have it in the back of your head as a goal, like, hey, I want to get this time. But if you're too much into that, especially like on race day, that's when you see athletes get real tight. So you gotta walk that tightrope, because if you're oblivious to it and you don't have something to work towards, then what's the point? But if you're also too in your head about it, you're going to be tight, like Coach Sype said, and you're just not going to get it done.
Yeah, and too, it's at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun too. You can't be squeezing and stressing and just worrying over things at all. I mean, you're supposed to enjoy the process, enjoy your teammates. I mean, and if you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, good things typically happen for people in those cases. Coach, you all right, man?
Took a bad drink of water. Oh,
wrong side.
Wrong tube.
Right.
So we're talking about record breaking. I want to know what's the most impressive record breaking performance you've ever seen
that I saw live.
Yeah, live
the most impressive thing I ever saw live. The first year I was coaching at Boardman, we went down to state, and there was a 300 hurdler from Berea. His name was Donovan Robertson. He was one of the first guys to break 36 seconds in the state in the 300 hurdles. When that moment happened, Jesse Owens Stadium was wall to wall. We're talking 20,000 plus people. The entire stadium stopped. You could hear a pin drop in the place. Everybody was standing, and everybody watched him and a kid from St. Ed's. His name was Steele Wasick, and the two of them just went at it. And Donovan got under the 36 seconds, and turned in an impressive race. That was the most impressive male. The most impressive female, hands down, was Abby Steiner. She broke the 200 record. Not only did she break the 200 record, but the girl behind her also broke it. And you didn't even see the second girl in the picture that broke the 200 record because Abby was so far ahead. She ended up going off to the University of Kentucky, and she became a national champion in the 200 at the collegiate level. I believe she's a Puma athlete right now as well. So, I mean, we've seen a lot of very, very, very good track in the state of Ohio over the last couple of decades here, but those two are the ones that stand out the most to me.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the breaking the record by so much that the person behind you broke it, but wasn't even
in the
close.
Yeah, it was like Abby ran fast enough to be one of the best male athletes in the Tri-County area that year as well. I think there was like 2 or 3 boys that had her beat. I mean, again, an Olympian you're talking about here. So it's just like, I mean, not to be that, like, the guys should be running faster in most cases there.
But you can beat most of them.
I mean,
outside of the elite.
Every single guy. It's outside of the elite guys that we have. Again, one of the most impressive girls I've seen. Those two things. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Caitlin Daniels, she threw a shot put like 55 feet at state one year. That was an amazing thing to witness in person. I mean, again, Barrow, she threw 45, and it's the second farthest throw since, oh my gosh, I can't think of the girl's name from Fitch. But she was a Fitch girl from the 80s, and she threw a bomb. The two of them were the only ones to hit 45, and then this girl threw it 10 feet further from Olentangy. I mean, I love it. It's just such a cool sport to see these things happening. Every division has something fun to see. I mean, it's just a sport for everybody as long as you have an appreciation for training and you have an understanding of like the effort of what it takes to get to what these people are. Like when we were talking to Macey there, that 4, the 8, and the 300 hurdles, they are grueling. As soon as you get to a certain point in that race, everything just tightens up because of your energy system switching. You just get lactate in your legs. It burns. It hurts. And you can always tell when kids run those races right because they get off the track and they're saying, my legs and my butt are so tight. Everything just hurts right now. And yeah, good. You ran the race right today. Good job, guys.
That's why I have such a respect for runners, because you're putting your body through it. Like, you have to push yourself past what your body says it can handle to be elite at this sport, which is, I mean, you have to do it in other sports. I'm not trying to knock others, but like, not like this, not like where like a good time is like you're hurting
You
a
are,
lot.
and the elite kids are putting themselves through it. Like, we're starting, if you play basketball and then you jump into track, you're starting at the end of February, early March, and you're just putting yourself through pain for the next couple of months to get to where you're at. I mean, bodies break down. There's a fine line of how hard you have to train kids and what they're able to do. So, I mean, like, you really put them through it. We're blessed here at Boardman. Todd Berkey is our athletic trainer here. Because of him, we're able to beat our kids up a little bit more, like metaphorically speaking, and we can put them through it more because we know that he's going to be there to rehab them. He keeps them healthy. He has great lifting programs. I mean, we are genuinely blessed to have Todd as a part of our staff.
I remember when I was at South Range back in like 2000, in the 2000s, 2010, I graduated in 11, but the track coach was Mr. Numbergut. He made shirts that said, "Other sports use our sports as punishment."
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, that's awesome.
it is one of those like famous things, like, hey, the punishment for missing 10 free throws last night, we're gonna run a bunch of like gassers
suicides
today.
Yeah,
but that's exactly what we do. I mean, that is exactly what we do at practice, but it's not just running. You have to put times on it. You have to put tempo on it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you put into it, so it's not just like, hey, what do you guys do, just run? No, we actually train, and there's like an actual science behind everything that we do within the sport, especially if you're doing it right. I mean, anybody can go there and say, hey, go run 5 200s today, and there's a lot of what's the rest, how fast should I run them, am I in flats or am I in spikes, what am I coming out of a block, is it a fly in? I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff. So it's more than just running. It is genuinely training when you put it down to it.
And that is, I think, one of the biggest misnomers in the sport. People outside it watch it, and that's all you see is running. So you're just like, oh, they're just running.
Yeah, but
no.
There's a whole lot more. And there's ways to run races differently.
Exactly.
There's strategic races, there's fast races, there's slow races. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff. It just depends on what the workloads of the athletes are those days. And again, you're not always out there just to try to PR. Obviously, everybody wants to run their best times, but there's bigger pictures with a lot of the things that we do out there as well.
All right, Coach, let's recap the week that was. We had a lot of track happen since we saw you last on last Wednesday. What kind of went down over the week? What can you recap for us?
Well, the biggest action from the local area was the Trumbull County meet. So it's a 2-day meet. Prelims on Tuesday, finals are on Thursday. The Lakeview boys put on a show. They battled with McDonald, and in the end, the Lakeview boys were victorious. And then on the girls' side, the McDonald girls were the meet champions there. Going down through the list and the results, the same players that we've talked about from Trumbull County all school year, all season here, they shelled out. You ever hear of an Ava Hewlett? You know her? You ever hear of her, Coach?
She's doing something.
Yeah. She put on a show once again in the hurdles over there, and she ran some open events as well. So I mean, she scored a lot of points for Ridge, and she carried her team to I believe they were a 3rd place finisher as a team in Trumbull County. So it continues to shine over there.
I think when Ava Hewlett's done, I mean, we'd have to do some research, some journalism. She might be one of the most decorated athletes in Trumbull County history. The way she does all the sports and what she does in all the sports.
Yeah, she is she's phenomenal. She does a lot of really good things. I mean, and on top of all of it, she comes off. She presents herself well. She seems like
Yes.
a really great kid. And again, she is, like you said, very decorated in all the stuff that she does. Really excited to see what she turns out in the postseason here. I really want to see her stand on top of that podium. So we're going to see what she can do when the postseason gets rolling around here.
I believe, Coach. I think we're going to get a state champion out of her. I
Yeah.
saw one of the things that before the season, one of her indoor meets that she ran in the Spano Dome, and her dad sent me the clip of it, and I was like, if she does that during the high school season,
Yeah.
in the hurdles, like, it's over.
Yeah, she's turning in some good times right now. That 15:27 and 46:36. I mean, she's moving, man. She's primed to do some good things, and that's on, again, a bounce back in the training season too. So she's going to get faster when they start to taper her off. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen there. Naomi Sheasley from McDonald turned in a couple of great distance races there, 2:23 and a 5:10 in the 800 and the 1600 respectively. Again, Emma Bundy and then Shiley from McDonald holding it down with the throws again. Again, two of the best in the area, and they're both doing great stuff over there. Again, like going through the results, it's kids that we've been talking about, and they're really starting to shine. Papagallo from Mineral Ridge for the boys, Clace from McDonald, Zajac and Culp. I mean, we got great kids. I mean, I am every week as these kids get stronger and faster and their marks are getting better. I mean, I'm getting very jacked up to see what this postseason is going to turn into. So a lot of good track ahead of us still. Like I said, it is conference week. This week, some of the conferences have been decided already.
Mm-hmm.
The Northeast 8 Girard girls put on a show last night, and they took it down over there. And then the South Range boys were the Northeast 8 boys champion. They edged out Lakeview just by a little bit. The South Range team is pretty solid too. I mean, they got great distance runners. They're very balanced. And again, that Lakeview team is coming off a Trumbull County championship. So, I mean, they're not another team to overlook once the season gets going here toward the end. In the Mahoning Valley Athletic Conference, the Garfield boys and girls absolutely dominated their meets over there as well. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. And again, we're at that last week and last 3 days of the regular season. Districts get going next Wednesday here or Thursday, depending on what division you're in.
We gotta send the bat light out to some Garfield runners. Would love to get Garfield on the show. We didn't get them on last year.
They doubled up most teams in their conference. So both of those teams are extremely strong. They have a little bit of everything. I mean, like I said, it was an absolute clinic that they put on in their conference meet over there.
We also know, you mentioned South Range boys winning the NE8. I think Taylor Dado also had a really good weekend. Yes. I saw that on social media. Someone that does 3 sports for the Raiders, and happy to see her shine in the NE8 championships as well. What, long jump, if I'm not mistaken? I read it very quickly on social media.
Yeah, she had 100, 400, 200. I mean, again, one of the top athletes in the track and field community in the area. And if you're going to win meets, you put your top athlete in open events and see what you can get. I mean, relays are fun, but if you're down for like a championship or, county, a conference deal, you can break those relays up, put other girls in, and use your stars where you can get the most points and maximize your output in those cases. So, I mean, that was really smart coaching. And again, they did perform pretty well, but Girard was just too much. They're too balanced. And again, they have some of the better sprints. They do a really good job over there. Paul Farr, he's been around for a very long time. He is a phenomenal coach. I really respect him a lot. And anytime I see him at a meet, I make sure I pick his brain a little bit about little cues that we can put out there. But again, he's one of the best in the biz. Honestly, this area is very blessed with some very, very good coaches. So if you look around, you can see the players that are out there every year, and chances are they have some of those coaches taking care of them.
Coach, I know you said districts start next week on Wednesday and Thursday. Is there anything else you're going to try to squeeze in this weekend before that? Is there anything we should preview before we get to next Wednesday when we're talking about districts?
Well, it is conference week, so a lot of teams have their conference meets. So that's pretty much going to be the primary focus for everybody. Again, the Northeast 8, they already had theirs last night. The AAC is tonight, so we'll be out in Austintown this evening, going for our conference meet tonight. So I mean, that's pretty much where the focus is. This is a big prom weekend as well, so some of the meets might be a little bit watered down. We do plan on doing our makeup meet for the Lakeview relays, but since we're going to be beating our girls up a little bit tonight, we're going to kind of tame it down when we go to Lakeview on Friday, just because, we'll run a race or two here to stay sharp. But this weekend's just about staying sharp, getting healthy, and getting ready to make that run for the roses at state there.
It's that time of year as we venture into the second half of May. Every sport's going to be starting the postseason. Softball starts tonight. Baseball will start next week. So we'll track and field.
Yep.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty, Coach.
Yeah, I know we have a girls lacrosse tournament game tomorrow. We have a softball tournament game tomorrow. Districts is next week. Baseball starts in a few weeks, but you are correct. It is that time of the year when win or go home in most of these cases.
Before we let you go, since districts are next week, I don't want to dive too much into previewing districts before we get there, but I do want one question. Who do you think is someone that has really burst onto the scene this year that maybe it could win a district that maybe people weren't talking about preseason?
The most impressive improvement I've seen from an athlete this year is Justin Solly from Fitch. He has turned in a phenomenal season running the mile and the 800. He's one of the better times in the state in the 8, so I'm really excited to see what he's able to do moving forward. Team-wise, I mean, like I said, it's the same players that we're going to talk about. I really like the McDonald teams. I really like the Salem teams. The Fitch teams are really good. I mean, it's the players that we talk about all the time, Coach. I mean, I really think that these are some of the premier programs, and we're going to see them shine when it comes down to the district time. We have good kids here at Borman. I'm excited to see what we're doing from our crew, but again, there's a lot of really good track athletes in this area. So I would love to see us get north of that 60 number that we had at state last year. I really think this is going to be one of those special years where we get a lot of kids down to Columbus in the newly renovated Jesse Owens Stadium on Ohio State's campus.
Coach, we can't wait for next week when we finally get to talk about some postseason. We'll have another track star on as we try to do every week as well. Thank you as always for the time, and we appreciate running Wednesdays as much as anybody. And we'll see you again next week, buddy.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.